beautiful people. It's your hot girl, Shameless, and I have guests here.
Damon and Joe.
I'm Joe, this is Damon. Together we have a travel channel on YouTube.
Yes, you have to check out their channel, and we did a collab on their channel about New York versus LA.
Woo!
And now we are going to do the traveling on a budget, because all three of us travel.
That was my travel.
Did travel on a budget dance.
We all travel a lot.
We picked up some tips and tricks like along the way of just random things that you wouldn't think about. Anything from accommodation to booking your flight to managing your money. So we're gonna give you all of those tips.
So I want to encourage you guys to travel with these 5 easy tips that can apply to anyone. Tip number 1.
Tip number 1 is booking your flight. So number 1 thing people complain about when traveling is it's so expensive to buy a flight. Yeah, it is gonna be the most expensive part, either that or your accommodation, but here's some tips to like get the cheapest flight. So we use 2 sites. The first one is Skyscanner. It's this awesome flight booking engine because you can type in like I'm leaving from LAX and I want to go everywhere. There's actually an option where you click everywhere and it'll list down the cheapest places to go.
Oh, okay.
And then they also have the cheapest month. So you can plan your trip around the cheapest month in advance.
Smart.
Jet Radar is another site, similar without the everywhere function, but they have really cheap flights. The only thing with Jet Radar is that they offer really long layovers, so make sure you know how much time you're spending in layovers.
So look at the stopover,
Yes.
the layover price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one time we had a flight where we literally had to sleep in the airport, and like we've done that many times, but a lot of people aren't willing to do that.
Right.
But then again, we had a super cheap flight.
The last tip on that, on booking your flight, would be to make your own connecting flights. So this is actually risky, but I've done it before and it saved me hundreds of dollars. I had to go to Lisbon and the flight from like New York to Lisbon at the time was something like $600.
Okay.
So even when I was searching our go-to cheap booking engines like Skyscanner and Jet Radar, it was still $600. So then I'm like, hold up, what if I go from New York to Manchester or any European airport for that matter, and then find a flight from that airport to Lisbon?
So just doing a one-way to one city and then another one-way to another city.
Exactly.
Yes.
Country.
So
But it's super risky. I mean, she saved hundreds of dollars doing it, but it's risky because if you
miss your flight.
your first flight, or if that first flight gets canceled or delayed, and you end up missing your second one. So you did a long layover.
I did a long layover, yeah. Always leave room for like some delays.
So like
or
a day and then explore the city.
You did 12 hours.
I did 6 hours. I was living on the edge.
Damn!
I was living on the edge, so yeah, I ended up paying $300 for this flight to Lisbon.
Key point in finding cheap flights is to, 1, not be picky. I actually just found one on my way here. It was $161, and this is not a lie, from LA to, where was it?
Denmark.
Denmark.
Oh wow,
I'm like,
that's cheap.
what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I might have to cancel everything and just go to Denmark.
But it's always the most inconvenient times with
Yeah.
the layovers that are really long. So, I mean, you're gonna get there eventually.
I tried Google flights. Super cheap too.
Yep.
Google Flights is good because they have
It
the
compares
numbers.
everything.
It compares everything, and it also has like the little green number if it's the cheapest day. So it's always
Day.
good to.
And also looking at certain times of the day. Like I find if you are searching after hours, like off business hours, the prices drop. Like I noticed that, and then also on weekends, and then sometimes when Monday comes around, it's just like game over. And booking your flights at least 2 weeks in advance. Once you
Yeah.
start getting in the 2 week zone, game over. Tip number 2.
Whew, accommodation. So we have 3 sub numbers for this one. We have hostels. First off, do we know what hostels are?
Explain.
Okay, hostels. Hostels are not hotels, so instead of renting the entire room out, you rent a bed in a room
with other people.
with other people.
Now you might be cringing at home, but
I've
don't
done it.
cringe. It's always fun.
No, it's really nice because you're finally connecting with other travelers, people who are trying to get around the city and they don't need a 5-star hotel to travel. They just want to be in the city and meet other travelers. Hostels are the best place for that. Number 2 is couch surfing. Couch surfing, do we know what that is?
Yes.
It's basically a Facebook for travelers. You're traveling to a city. I'm traveling to Las Vegas, and I don't want to stay in a hotel or hostel, so I'm going to look to stay with somebody.
Like a local.
Oh, but this is free.
But what?
Yeah.
Oh, this is. Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. This is completely free.
Completely free. So couch surfing is this organization. It's like a community of people all over the world that have this understanding that you will sleep on their couch. They will learn about your culture. You'll learn about their
That's
culture
amazing.
in exchange for a good review, so that when the couch surfing host wants to travel, they'll also be able to stay on your couch for free, or like they'll
Yeah,
have
that
good
makes sense.
reviews on
That's
their
a good
profile.
hookup.
No, it's awesome, and I've had the best ones. Like in London, where it's so expensive, I stayed in this 2-story flat. I had one of those rain showers, and it's so awesome because he showed me around the city, and I got to see
That's so
London
nice.
through a local's eyes.
That's amazing. That is winning.
Winning, and then the third part is work exchange. So you can maybe there's a hostel that you enjoyed your stay at. Me, that was in Lisbon. I loved this hostel, so I reached out to them and I said, hey, do you guys have a volunteer program? So
Oh, wow.
I stayed in Portugal for an entire month and I worked the bar. I've never even served a drink in my
You
life.
didn't even know how to slice a lime.
I had no idea, but that was a way for me to travel the world and not have to pay anything.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
And then a subcategory of that too, I have to add in the Airbnb.
I live on Airbnb. My brother and his wife are in Mexico, and they're snapping in this like beautiful home, and I'm pretty sure they found it on Airbnb. Tip number 3.
Okay, so money. Right? Isn't that what they say?
Let's talk dollars.
This is like the most stressful part about any travel because you're trying to spend as least amount of money as possible.
Yeah.
And what we found is the Chase Sapphire card.
I need to get it because the points.
The points. So the way that this card works,
Just got it the other day. So.
you get double the points on travel. So anytime you book any kind of trip, even if it's domestic, like even if you're buying a Metro card, it'll be double the points. So that's good. So travel is double the points, and then international transactions, I believe, are double the points, and there's no exchange fee.
That's
so you can
that's
swipe.
insane to me.
That
And
you're
this
not
is
getting
for
charged.
U.S. residents.
Yeah.
Yes.
But look into cards that offer points, especially towards travel.
Double the points on travel and no international fees. The second tip with this is whenever you're abroad, obviously you can't use a credit card or a debit card for everything, and so you're going to need to take cash out. We usually withdraw from local ATMs, so it comes out in the currency that you need, but we withdraw like larger lump sums because every time you withdraw, your bank
Service
charges you,
charge, yeah.
and your ATM, the local ATM, will charge you.
Tip number 4.
Ooh, okay, so you need to do everything locally, which means like Groupon. There are so many websites out there that have specific versions to different cities. I was in France and I went on Groupon France, which is a
Okay.
completely
Good to
different
know.
website from Groupon the United States, but they have different deals. So I now had access to all of the deals in Paris.
Oh,
So
wow.
definitely check out the local versions of every single website that you use back home.
And beyond that, just use local resources. So ask locals, talk to people, talk to strangers. We're big advocates on learning local languages because you always end up getting
They
a
speak a
cheaper
lot of
deal.
languages.
Yeah, I mean primarily because we're cheap and we're like, let's get the deal. You know, so you gotta learn languages. So
I love Yelp.
you can
Oh,
do
Yelp.
that.
Yelp, I get my life on Yelp, and I review, and I do all that stuff.
You review?
I do! But I just started because I'm like, you know what? I need to start reviewing because it's been so helpful for me. Every time I travel, I'm like, where am I going to eat? Yelp.
No,
like, I'm the
totally.
Yelp girl. And I also thought when you said go local, meaning even travel locally. Like, you can travel
Oh,
within your
yeah.
own city because a lot of people are like, I want to go big. I want to go. Like, you're in France. You're in,
You don't have to.
Lisbon. You don't have to. You can
You
like
honestly
get
don't.
out. I know so many people when I was living in Harlem that do not leave Harlem. Like, seriously, shut up and go because there's so much that your city has to offer, but you have to look for it.
The last tip, which is exactly shut up and go. It's just know that you don't need to have $1 million. You don't need to have unlimited time. You don't need to have 3 months of vacation. You could honestly just leave your front door, take a left, take a right, go down streets you've never been to before and
Yeah.
see something new.
Yeah. You
If
have to
somebody
make it
on
a point.
Instagram can post that picture, if somebody can see that amazing video, I can be in those places. Like
why
I
can't
can
I?
do it with my own eyes.
You
and
just
my
have to
own
make it
hands.
a mission of yours. Like, I live on like to-dos and like goals, but like if you want to travel, just make that a priority and make it happen. And that's it from us. Make sure you guys check out their channels, click on their faces, description box, and until next time, remember to do you, boo. Be shameless. Bye. Make sure you guys check out Damon and Joe and our collab video on New York versus LA.
At the same time.
Question number 1. Which city is friendlier, New York versus LA?
These are like